Morning, guys. We're going to be talking about, well, we're just going to be discussing Durianrider's, one of his cycling tips is the high cadence. And I think this is one of the best examples of it. So as you can see, they are going up a really steep climb. 12.9% average and 20% at the highest peak. So as you see, we've got all these guys are spinning. These guys, they've got the best doctors, best scientists, best aerodynamics have ever been in cycling history. Same drugs, same training, all very similar. As you can see, there are two riders. Peter Sagan, he's a spinner. Which one looks most efficient? And now, as you see, the guy in the yellow, he is literally just running out of gears. He is trying so hard. Look at the cadence. He's going to absolutely lynch his mechanic this evening when he gets home after this race because he's just not fitted his bike correctly. Look how smooth Sagan looks. Sagan, higher cadence. He's going to be less fatigue metabolites being produced. He's going to be less tired, using up less glycogen, but producing a lot more power. Look at that. It just looks a lot easier. The other guy is grinding so slowly, and he's out of the picture now. Sagan is literally taking this one off. And I think, what race is this? The Tour of Flanders. So he's going to go for the stage win. Look at that. He is absolutely fucked. I think he needs a 32. This is 20%. Maybe in 32, 34. You saw Peter Pooley. He won the Durianrider race with a 42 cassette on the back. You need to do what you have to do to get the cadence. And I don't know, maybe the group sets, or I know Shimano and stuff, they may not provide the best ones, but these guys need better. As you see the ones, all of them spinning, all of them trying to spin. And now we have Sagan, one of the best descenders. He used to be into the mountain biking, and you can really see how that's benefiting him when he made the transition into road cycling. All these riders have an absolute fearlessness when descending. They couldn't care less if they crash. You see Sagan, that's what we call the aero tuck, just sitting right on his top sheet. I do not recommend doing that. Only do that when you're in a race and every single second counts. Although you are getting more aerodynamic, because you are so far forward, any little bump in the road, you can easily just go over the handlebars. So dangerous. But as I said before, these guys do not care one bit. Another thing, you see all these spectators going past. Peter Sagan, to get some sort of perspective, he is like, Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi, the rock star of the cycling world. Super popular. I don't know any other sport where you can literally get this close for free to watch your absolute favourite heroes perform at their very best. These guys are absolutely motoring down. It's a downhill descent now after going up the little power climb we had back there. Look at that. They've got the best technology and the best sort of engineering, and they've clearly seen that high cadence is the best. You cannot argue with that. I think about 90 cadence is probably the most efficient. Mostly going downhill, you've got gravity on your side, so there's Sagan, probably 95, 100 now. Just looking so smooth, but he carries high cadence all the way through. He never gets bogged down. Very nice specialised S-works he's got there. But yeah, you can see just wearing the rainbow jersey. Now he's in some sort of time trial position. That's another thing. Just practicing training. Does he get even more aerodynamic? That's another thing. If you hit a bump, it's very risky. So why he's never really on it for too long. But look at that cadence. Look at that cadence. It's so smooth. Cadence basically equals power. If you're not too sure what I mean by cadence, it's like RPM, revolutions per minute on one leg. You want to aim between 90 is probably optimum. You see a lot of riders that go 100, 110. But then if you bring it down to 90, they for some reason they can just squeeze out a few extra watts. So, I don't really see why people argue with Durianrider's advice. As you can see from this, spin to win is obviously the philosophy that all the top athletes are doing. High cadence is just the most efficient, and cycling is all about efficiency. Trying to produce as little fatigue metabolites in the legs so you feel less tired and go for longer, as well as preserve as much glycogen, as much sugar as possible. So sugar and water during the race, that's what it's all about. Getting as much carbohydrates in. So this again, all he's doing is looking down at his power meter just there. Just making sure he's just keeping a steady wattage. You never want to surge. because as we said before, it's all about efficiency. When you surge up in power and then go back down, that's going to really tire your legs out. So there's 100 cadence minimum there. So smooth. He's absolutely hitting it. If you want to be the best to your ability and really realize your potential in cycling, just look at the best. Obviously, it doesn't matter that you're not on the same skill level as them, but there's so many things you can learn from the top. And things like cadence, you know, as well as, you know, bike fitting, things like that, any rider can do. The guy in the yellow, he's going to look very tired. I thought, oh, there's Van Mark. These two are working together trying to catch Sagan, but Sagan's got such good cadence, I don't think they're going to even get close. And as well as Van Mark, he used so much of his energy up that climb because he just didn't have the gears. It really wouldn't surprise me if he drops off. He's just going to try and hold Cancellara's will. I think he's probably down and out. Cancellara, the smooth Swissman, very likeable, good time trial, so he's literally just going to be holding his wattage to the finish line. Just under 9 kilometers to go. But this is just a masterclass in racing from Sagan. One of the best, he is known as one of the best bike handlers in the business, one of the best, most technical cyclists there is. And one of the main things is that, you know, you saw Sagan, Chris Froome, all these guys spin all the time. That is a sort of mountain biking technique. Now what you have here is called a pace line, where they're all sort of strung out, single file. That means they're going pretty fast. But the guy in the front, he's pretty look at the guy in the back, he's just coasting there. He wasn't even pedaling. The guy in the front of the pace line is going to be doing a lot more work than the people behind him, purely because he's taken the full force of all the wind resistance. But as you see, Sagan up top in a very sort of aerodynamic position, hunched over, sort of 90-degree angle at the hips, just trying to get as most aerodynamic as possible. And look at that, all he's doing, just looking at his power meter, just holding his wattage. And to be able to hold that high wattage, you need high cadence. Spin to win, guys, spin to win.